On this week's program, look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a Brent. It's... Welcome back to the program, Nerds. How you doing? I'm Larry Brantley, and this is Brent Williams.
Hello.
And back behind the microphone and the camera and all the other things, the lights and just everything, is our producer, Chris Hockenberry. And we've got a little special story to tell about Chris.
Aloha.
I was going to say that's probably what he's going to say. Yeah. Aloha. So take a wild guess where he and his wife just came back from. Hey, listen, do us a favor. Go out to nerdherfers.com and hit the subscribe button. That will get you clued in on everything that's happening in the Nerdherfers community. And also, please go out to our YouTube's page at youtube.com/@nerdherfers. That is such a freaking mouthful, man.
Well, I mean, I can't help it if YouTube's a long word.
Well, YouTube is a long word. And subscribe to our program there on the YouTubes, and that would make us very happy. We'd appreciate that. Also, hit that little like button on the program. That's also fun to do. We've got a fun show tonight, but before we do, let's have a little catch up. I think we're actually going to start with Chris because he had the most exciting thing happen, which was you and Pam got to go to Hawaii, right?
Yeah, it was actually really cool. We got a free trip, essentially. Pam was speaking at a conference. So they paid to fly us out, paid for our hotel. I got to hang out on the beach.
Well, and what we love about when Chris goes on trips is that he always brings something back for us. And we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah. So, okay, you guys went to Hawaii. What have you been up to?
Just working, but I was just sitting here thinking how far we've come in a year. I mean, last year we were sitting outside in the heat or the cold, dealing with the bugs.
Remember we were all bundled up in the wintertime.
Motorcycles and people with glass packs.
Okay, we haven't recorded at my patio since.
Right?
I mean, let's just go.
Well, it happened here too, but I'm just thinking we've come so far. Now we're in a hot box.
Yeah.
On top of the sun.
Yeah.
You know,
with
great. Fans everywhere. So if everything's billowing, it's because fans are all over the place.
It's because we are literally sitting in puddles of our own selves right now. That's not true. And
not true at all.
It's totally true.
He may be, but I'm not.
Oh, yeah, right. Sure you're not. Is that why you ran in and put your Depends on before you came out here?
I didn't. Oh, shit.
Yeah, so again, I just been working. I just came back. We're recording this actually sort of not on our regular record date. We're recording this on Friday, July the 18th. And last weekend, I was at a con in Council Bluffs, Iowa. I was there for something called OCon. It was awesome. I got to get both of these guys to go squee when I took a picture of my new friend Jeff Hayes. If you don't know that name, then you need to get into the Dungeon Crawler Carl series of audiobooks because all of them are narrated by this guy named Jeff Hayes, and he does a fantastic job. And so we chatted, the weekend about the audiobook world, the anime world, what's going on with the con scene. And we actually hope to have Jeff on the program at some point. So hopefully we'll be able to make that happen. But
I went squee when you sent me the picture of you and Eric Estrada.
Well, you also did that, and I believe you were like, how come he didn't take his shirt off? Yeah. Because he's 74. That's why he doesn't take his shirt off anymore. But Eric Estrada was also a great guy, and then also got to meet and hang out with Paula Lazaro from The Walking Dead. She played Princess. So it's interesting. I met two very lovely people who both play a character called Princess. Jeff Hayes narrates Princess Donut in the Dungeon Crawler Carl books, and Paola plays Princess in starting in season 10 of The Walking Dead, I think.
I like Donut better.
Yeah. So it was, well, you've never met Paola.
That's true.
She's an awesome human being.
I just happen to love Princess Donut.
So, so that's...
Donut.
Yeah. Just, here we go. Now we gave him a microphone, and it's all over.
Yep.
But anyway, so that's catch-up time, and now... it's time for one of my favorite segments of the show, a little thing that we like to call Nerd News. It's all the nerd news you need to know, and all that needs to be known is known by our anchor person over here, Mr. Brent Williams. Brent, what nerdy news have you got for us this time?
This is a great story.
Okay.
So this guy was cleaning out his father's attic in Philadelphia, and he found this weird-looking contraption. It was a beige-colored box. It said PlayStation on the front of it, but it had a Nintendo cartridge sitting in it, and it had the Nintendo controller that said PlayStation on it. And so
that's weird.
They did some research, and what happened was the dad, in a few years previous, had gone to a bankruptcy sale for this company, and it was in stuff he bought. He didn't think much of it and just stuck it up in the attic. Well, come to find out, what he had bought was the last remaining prototype of a failed collaboration between Sony and Nintendo. They were going to put out a game console together.
Wow.
And it didn't happen. And this was one of the prototypes made. They destroyed all the other ones. This one somehow survived. Okay. So they traveled around the country with it, showing it off and stuff. And then they ended up selling it at auction for $360,000.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah.
And just because he found it.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
All right. So, by
the way, why can't we ever find anything that we can sell really expensively?
I've been up in my attic. All there are used air filters and a couple boxes.
Yeah, because I never bring those down.
Yeah, who does?
That's what the attic is for, I think.
Well, I mean, you need more, fire fuel up there. So. If the house ever burns, that's going to go up fast.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this one's kind of cool. You know who Charlie Ostrom is?
From Charlie and the Chocolate Factory days?
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Okay. So that's the original.
Yeah. Not that weird stuff with Johnny Depp.
Right. That's the only role he ever played. Like, he never did anything else after that movie.
No kidding.
Right? Yeah. So he eventually became a veterinarian.
Charlie became a veterinarian.
He became a vet.
Good for
him. So he still gets royalties from that movie to this day.
I'll bet he does.
Yeah. Every 3 months, he gets around $9.
Yeah. So it's funny you say that, because I saw this interview with Adam West one time. Uh-huh. And he was still getting Batman, residuals.
Right.
Him and Burt Ward and Frank Gorshin, all the people who worked on that show.
Yeah.
But he goes, it got kind of ridiculous because I'd get like a dozen checks for 25 cents each.
Yeah.
Like, it costs you more to print this.
And to mail it.
Yeah.
The stamp is more expensive.
The stamp is more expensive. Yeah. So, yeah, the whole residual thing can get a little ridiculous.
It's kind of like the pennies. You know how they're going to quit making the pennies in a year or two?
Yeah.
They're still going to be legal tender. They're not getting rid of them. They're just going to quit making them.
They're just not going to be
because it costs over $2 to make a penny now.
Oh, my God. That's the inflation, y'all. That's what that is.
That's crazy. All right. My last story, of course.
It's a sad one.
No.
Oh, no.
But it has to be about AI.
Oh, well, yeah.
And you guys may have heard this story. Okay, there's a band on Spotify. It's a 60s inspired rock band.
Okay.
It's named The Velvet Sundown. Has more than 1 million followers.
Wow. Had
multiple songs in the number one on Spotify.
I see where this is going.
Yeah, they came out and said people started looking them up and they're like, we can't find any information about this band. It's completely AI generated. Yeah. Completely AI generated.
And that, friends, is the definition of gullible.
Yeah. That's greatness.
So don't. Oh man.
What are their?
That's horrible.
One of their top songs on Spotify was called "Dust on the Wind." I'm like, come on! Now they're just trolling you guys.
Dust on the wind. Yeah. Well. Once again, AI overlords, we love you and have always supported you on this episode of. Nerd News. Okay. We got that out of the way. Now let's get into the meat of the program. We have got some fun stuff tonight. Okay, so Chris went to Hawaii. Chris and Pam went to Hawaii. Brought us back some Hawaiian whiskey and some Hawaiian cigars. Neither of which any of us has ever had. So this is truly an episode which we are going into this blind. But I'm even more excited about what we're talking about tonight, because as you may know, if you are a nerd or if you are nerd adjacent, James Gunn recently released his Superman movie. It was originally called Superman: Legacy, but nothing good happens after a colon. So they just call it Superman. We're going to be talking about that tonight. But first I want to get into this. So we're going to start with this Hawaiian whiskey, and Brent has a few things to say about it, I think.
Actually, it's a bourbon.
Oh, it's bourbon.
It's a bourbon whiskey.
So it's a bourbon mash bill.
Yeah. Okay. So the corn and the barley and rye are
Tell the people what it's called.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's called Kapahi.
Kapahi. And is made by whom?
Kauai Distilling.
Kauai
Distilling.
Kauai. Kauai?
That's how it's spelled.
Cowe.
I know, and the funny thing is I know it's Kauai.
Yeah. Kauai.
But sorry. Anyway.
Sorry to all of our brothers and sisters on the islands.
That's right. So it's grown corn and grain, and it's grown in Hawaii, and then it's distilled in Washington.
Oh, okay.
And it is distilled. I mean, it's aged no less than 2 years in charred new American oak. This bottle happened to be aged 3 years, 234 days.
Okay.
What's really cool about this, though, is that it has a barrel number on it. You probably can't see that here, but it's got a barrel number. You can actually go to their website, kawaidistilling.com/mybarrel, and type in your barrel number and get the history and story of your barrel.
Oh, that is interesting.
Yeah.
We
So
should
really,
maybe
really
do that
cool.
as an aside later.
So this is 93 proof. It says notes, oak front, cherry, and chocolate finish. So, yeah.
All right.
I'm excited.
As long as it doesn't taste like a cherry cordial.
Yeah.
I hate those things.
I'm excited. We should get into it.
Well,
Here we go.
but let's do it. Do it.
I've got to the point where I'm afraid to do this too hard because I spill it.
Oh, I know. Oh, that was a nice one.
Ooh, wow. Okay.
Very nicely done. All right. Let's get our producer taken care of here since he brought this stuff. There you go, buddy. Pouring a little bit of this.
My hand shook because it's so heavy.
It's so heavy.
I'm so weak because I haven't eaten.
Here, I'll just pour it myself. How about that? A little bit there, and we might want to go to ice later, but right now we're going to try this neat. And let's give it a sniff. There's a lot of ethanol on that nose. Okay. You said oak front, cherry, and chocolate. On the nose, I'm getting something that is vaguely sort of like banana-like.
Well, yeah, bananas common. I'm getting like bell pepper.
Really? I'm just getting a lot of ethanol.
Yeah. Well, so when that happens, you gotta pull your nose away from the glass a little bit, so it doesn't singe them nose hairs.
I also had to pull my microphone up. I'm also getting that banana.
Okay. May I just say, that is not oak front, nor cherry, nor chocolate.
What? That is.
That is paint thinner.
Yeah. No, that is the plastic wrapping around silverware at McDonald's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And jalapeno.
That has been dipped in paint thinner.
Yeah.
And then lightly brushed with some sort of acrylic paint.
Well, we got a whole bottle to get.
Well, huh.
Okay.
This has only ever happened one other time, guys.
No, a couple times.
Has it happened a couple times?
And it's funny. You know what the aftertaste for me is? It's like I chased the snow cone guy down the street and got one of those blue snow cones.
Oh, the dreaded blue snow cone.
Yeah, that's what it tastes like.
Which is the indefinable flavor
They
of
call
the
it.
universe.
They usually call it coconut, but you never know.
Yeah, I've never seen blue coconut in my life.
It's like the yellow is pineapple. No, it's all the same flavor, just different colors.
So I don't know that. Should we just go ahead right now and try it with ice and see if we can improve on the flavor of this at all, which I'm highly doubtful.
Let's do an ice break.
All right, take us off to an ice break, buddy. Oh, here we go. Huh. Okay, so we are back from our ice break. We now have big rocks in our Kapahi Hawaiian bourbon, Kapahi.
That's what happened.
And
I said the name wrong. I said where it's distilled wrong, and I cursed it.
Yeah, is that what happened?
Yeah.
Because when we put the rock in this bourbon, we actually heard the ice scream as a lobster going into a boiling pot. So let's just see what happens. No taste here. Nope, still hot garbage.
It tastes like watered down turpentine.
It is hot garbage. Wow. Okay, well, having done that, let's now go to the same people who make this bourbon also make these cigars. This is a Kauai Cigar Company Island Prince. This is their Momona. It's a 50 by 5 3/4. It's a shade-grown cigar, meaning all the tobacco for the cigar is grown in the shade. And I have just a couple of notes on here. The wrapper is a shade-grown leaf is typically going to be thinner, more elastic with finer veins. For a flavor profile, they say to expect a lighter, earthy, tobacco-forward taste. I think most cigars are tobacco-forward, but that's just me. Some reviewers have noted notes of bread, floral, musk. I'm not happy with that. Cedar and leather. It's generally considered a low to medium-bodied smoke. All right, so we are going to... I'm going to crack this open. Well, I got to break the seal on this first. All right.
Both sides.
Here we go. All right.
It's a nice container.
Yeah, it's a nice container.
It's a very nice container.
All right, one for Hawk. Thank you. One for B and one for me. We Mamona from Kauai Cigar Company.
Island Prince.
So it's not as dark as I think we usually smoke. Okay, not a bad nose at all.
Oh no,
That's encouraging.
It only barely smells like sawdust. I'm kidding.
I'm gonna do a. Okay, now this is not a good sign. You're not going to be able to see this on camera. I'm going to describe the foot to you as best I can. It looks like the center of the cigar, somebody stuck a piece of chocolate in there like it's a pain chocolat. The roll, you can actually see the roll in there. Do you see the spiral?
I do see it. I've actually got that on mine too.
Yeah,
on the outside.
So I'm not sure what that portends for this cigar, but I'm going to go ahead and do a cut.
Let's see,
and we'll find out. Yeah, it looks like a melange of different tobaccos inside that cut.
That's a big word.
Okay, so I'm definitely getting notes of chocolate. It's not actual chocolate. And I couldn't find what the blend is, but we'll just see.
Nope.
It says these cigars are made in Hawaii. It doesn't necessarily mean the tobacco's grown there. So the cold draw is not bad.
You remember one time?
Remember that one time
at band camp one summer? We were talking about, there was a cigar that one of the tasting notes they said was manure.
Oh, yeah. Is that what you're getting? Manure? Yeah. Or like freshly laid mulch, which, by the way, smells like manure. All right. Here we go.
Here we go. All we can do is try it. Oh my gosh, look at that. How easy that singed.
Yep. So singed wrapper right off the bat. But that is to be expected if you're not careful with a shade grown, because they do the wrappers are super thin on this cigar. So actually,
very delicate.
It's a little interesting piece of cigar trivia is if you're using a shade grown wrapper, you're actually smoking one of the few cigars where you're actually getting more flavor notes from the binder and the filler than you are from the wrapper. And yes, it is tobacco forward. Weird. All right, I haven't made up my mind about the cigar yet because I made up my mind immediately about the whiskey, but I haven't made up my mind about the cigar.
I have.
Yeah, you don't like it. Give us your thoughts.
Manure.
Yeah.
Melted plastic.
Mm-hmm.
And toxic sludge.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it another go just to see.
All right.
I don't know that I've ever asked this,
nope.
but do we have backup sticks?
I probably have something in there.
Well, folks, if you're listening to this program or watching it on YouTube, we are about to execute a maneuver we have never done before, which we call the Nerdherfers do-over.
Yeah.
So, we'll be back in just a minute with something completely different. Hang on. All right, guys, we have reloaded with all new cigars and all new whiskey, which we're not going to talk about because we've already talked about them on the show before. Needless to say, we are going to talk shit about Kapahi or Crapahi. I'm just going to call it Crappy. Crapahi. And Kauai Cigars. We're just going to talk shit about them for the rest of the episode. But that's actually not what we're supposed to be talking about this episode. Yeah. We are supposed to be talking about the long-awaited, long hoped for, much anticipated as Brent and I were sitting in the theater, we were chanting in unison, "Please don't suck, please don't suck, please don't suck." James Gunn's Superman movie has finally hit theaters. The Nerdverse is exploding about it. Everyone's talking about it, and now it's our turn.
Well, I would like to point out, we always, we hardly ever talk about something the minute it comes out.
That's true.
And
although we've been kind of going against that lately, because we did Thunderbolts and...
Well, we didn't hit it right away. I mean, we always give people enough time to see it.
Right.
Because we're not like the day after people talking about the movie and all this stuff, right?
Because generally speaking, they haven't... Those are young people who haven't really had a chance to think about things yet. They want to say what they want to say. So, we are middle-aged guys, and so we actually think before we speak.
We're considerate, that's what I'm trying to say.
We are considerate. I agree. That being said, this episode of Nerdherfers is full of spoilers. Yep. Okay, so if you have not yet seen James Gunn's Superman movie, and you want to, and you don't want to have it spoiled for you, this is your opportunity to turn us off and then come back next week. But definitely do come back next week. I'm just saying. Yeah. Come back next week. Okay, so this movie has been literally years in the making. This all started because DC Entertainment was looking at what Marvel has been doing now for a long time and doing it much more successfully than they ever were. Yeah. And saying, we need a guy like that. We need a Kevin Feige, basically. Mm-hmm. And so they searched about, and then they got James Gunn and his partner, Peter Seraphim or something like that. I can't quite remember that guy's name. He's not as popular as James Gunn. But, of course, Gunn he did all 3 Guardians of the Galaxy films. He did the alternate version of the Suicide Squad, or maybe I guess it was a sequel. I'm not quite sure. Like, they never really defined what that was, because there were some returning characters, like Harley Quinn came back and Amanda Waller came back, but we didn't see Deathlock. We didn't see. Even Captain Boomerang came back in his Suicide Squad movie. He got killed in the first 5 minutes, but But if you know anything about James Gunn, we talked about Gunn before. We talked about how we hope that he's going to be able to pull this off. Well, now he's got a movie under his belt as now he's head of the DCU, and he's got Superman under his belt, starring David Corenswet. Yes, that is his real name. Rachel Brosnahan, Will Holt. And a cast of dozens. What did you think overall of the film?
Overall, I liked it. I have some questions and I have some nitpicky stuff, but overall, I liked it. And I was actually thinking about this the other day. So a lot of people are upset with they're calling it too silly, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Here's what I think's happening. So our entire lives, or as long as you've ever been a Superman fan, he's always been a somewhat serious character with a few minutes of joviality, right? Like every once in a while he'll crack a joke or something.
Sure.
It's like a dry humor joke or whatever, right? So people weren't used to seeing this basically stoic Superman. Yeah. Right? And
set apart, Kryptonian. Yeah. Looked up to as a god.
Yeah, and, blending in, but still blending in as, kind of a nerdy guy, but still standoffish and stoic, right? And they kind of flipped that on its head with this movie. And you think about it, this guy came to a planet as a baby. He lived with his, human parents.
In Kansas.
I mean, why wouldn't he be that way?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah. So that, look, it's hard for a lot of people to let go of Henry Cavill. Hell, it's hard for people our age even to let go of Christopher Reeve. There'll never be a better Superman than Christopher Reeve. And I loved Cavill's performances, but that was back when DC, the DC movies, the DCEU movies, as they were unofficially called, were so dark that Deadpool made a joke about it.
Yeah.
So, everything you said makes sense to me. In fact, I was wondering where you were going with that, because I was about to say it's exactly what you'd expect a dude from Kansas to be like.
Right.
I think the other thing that people are on the fence about is the fact that Krypto's in this movie.
Yeah.
And honestly, he steals every scene he's in. Well, because he's a cute dog who has superpowers.
But it was, and again, Krypto is always like a smart dog who knows what he's doing and stuff, right? This is just like a crazy, undisciplined dog in this movie.
Yeah.
And it's not even Superman's dog.
Right.
Which is what's funny.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the dog, as it turns out at the end, belongs to his cousin, Supergirl, played by Millie Alcock.
Yeah.
Who makes a cameo at the very end of the movie. She comes in totally wasted.
Yeah.
And like, thanks for taking care of my dog, dude. And like stumbles out.
Yeah.
And I thought that was hysterical. But I thought that here's another thing about the way James Gunn shoots his movies. Even when he was doing Suicide Squad, when it is super hyper violent and gory as hell, it's also funny at the same time. Now, he didn't want to do the super gory thing with Superman. I think with some other DC characters, he will get a little more leeway with that. Mm-hmm. Because, hopefully Kevin Feige has just been, I hope James Gunn has Feige on speed dial. I really do. Because I hope they can have these late night bullshit sessions where they're like, okay, dude, how did you get around this? And how did you get around that? And, and Feige's actually got it harder, I think, because he's owned by Disney.
Yeah.
So let's see how much leeway, DC is willing to give Gunn. But one thing Gunn does in his films is he always shoots them much brighter.
Yeah.
The colors are brighter. The way a scene, any given scene is lit, tends to be brighter. And we had become accustomed to DCEU films that are shot very, very dark and, all of that.
Yeah, especially Zack Snyder.
Yeah. And the other thing I love about James Gunn movies is the music score. Oh, my gosh. He picks some of the best. He curates a playlist that goes and becomes the soundtrack. And after like 4 measures, you're like, I know this song and it seems like it shouldn't make sense in the scene, but it absolutely does.
Yep.
So, give me some things. You said you had some questions. What are some of the questions that you had?
Well, we talked about this earlier. So at the end, one of the things I don't think I'm going to like, and I saw a promotional piece for the Supergirl movie.
Oh, I have not seen that.
They basically are making Supergirl into like this party hoe.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how I feel about that. Mm-hmm. But the other thing was, so my question was, how did she... when she comes in, he says, Superman says, she likes to go to planets with red suns because the alcohol does,
she can actually get wasted.
She can actually get wasted.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how is she getting there? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they can't fly there because when you get close to the red sun, you lose your powers.
Right.
So obviously she's in a ship, so they've got a ship somewhere.
Right.
And when she gets back to Earth, she's in the yellow sun, so how is she still drunk?
Well, I mean, we don't know how long it took to get from the ship to the door. Yeah, we know that.
Well, what I got from that scene was she flew into the fortress.
For all we knew, she ran her ship into the door.
Yeah.
So that that's a minor thing. I think
it's nitpicky. I told you I had some nitpicky.
One of the things that I did like though is that the Superman film introduced the character of Rick Flag Sr., played by Frank Grillo.
Yep.
And so again, yet another guy. Him and both Will Holt are in this movie and have both made the leap from Marvel to DC.
Right.
With that you're joining a growing list.
To be
Nathan
fair,
Fillion.
Frank Grillo kind of died in Marvel.
He did, but he was in it. I mean, he was Crossbones.
Yeah.
He was in several of the films. But we see Rick Flag Sr. for the first time in the Superman movie, and this is now setting up Peacemaker Season 2.
Yeah.
Because I've seen the trailer for Peacemaker Season 2, and there's Rick Flag Sr. So if you guys watched James Gunn's version of the Suicide Squad, at the end of it, Peacemaker, played by John Cena, kills Rick Flag in order to keep Flag from taking this very damaging evidence from the United States government, making it public. And then, of course, he survives, and we go on to Peacemaker Season 1, and it's hilarious and funny and violent as hell. So now we know that Rick Flag Sr. is in the DCU, and we also know from the trailer of Peacemaker that, which, by the way, James Gunn's doing Season 2. Like, how this guy has time to sleep or eat is beyond me at this point. And that Rick Flag Sr.'s mission is to basically kill the Peacemaker.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a good setup for what's going, and you can already see in the Superman movie Gunn doing something that no other DCEU film did, which is starting to slowly, not obviously, start to weave things together so you don't end up having to retcon the last film completely.
Well, but there is some retcon in that movie.
Go on.
His parents.
Yes.
The reason they sent him to Earth. they got the second part of the video that he could never watch, and it basically says, we sent you there to rule over these people. They're stupid and weak, and you can rule over them easily.
Yeah.
And at first I was kind of like, okay, that's just ridiculous. I mean, that's not Superman's story at all. That's not why he was sent. But I'm like, actually, when you think about it, in the purpose of the movie and the storyline, it actually makes total sense. And it, because, Lex Luthor is doing his best to discredit Superman, and because he's jealous of him, first of all. So that plays right into his hands,
right?
And pushes that storyline along, right? But also it makes Superman an even better person, right?
Yeah.
Because even after he found out, he was like so distraught and heartbroken over why his parents had sent him there. And the funny thing is Kryptonian. So I don't know how movies, comic books, whatever you've read, but so in the Invincible series.
Yeah.
Okay. So how the dad, what are they called?
Omni-Man.
Yeah, but what are they called? Their race. I forgot.
Oh, I can't remember that.
Anyway, they're basically conquerors and they hate everybody and they kill everybody, right? Well, that's kind of how the Kryptonians were.
Yeah.
And so it's really cool, actually. I think that they kind of brought that element into it. At first, I was kind of like, I don't know about that. And a lot of people are complaining about it. But I'm like, it doesn't change who the character is at all.
That's right.
It actually reinforces who the character is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm a fan of it. And look, it is. Has any one character been more remade than Superman?
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do something, you do possibly. Yeah. But if you're going to do something, you do it original.
There's Russian Superman.
Yeah.
Watch that on.
Red Son or something like that. Yeah, Red Son. Yeah. If you're going to do something like that, I wouldn't trust anybody better than James Gunn to deliver us an original story that still hews to some of the source material. So, for example, in this, I don't know why this was controversial, but they brought back the red tights. We haven't seen red tights in a while.
It was an ode to the original.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
which the original. Yeah, the red tights on the original Superman was an homage to circus performers. Right.
Yeah, like the strongman, or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
But,
so
you talk about the whimsy. I call it the whimsy. Right? Everybody says it feels silly, but I feel like there's some whimsy to this Superman. But that harkens back to the original Superman comics.
Well,
yeah.
That's the comic book feel.
Yeah.
Right,
and that's the general consensus I've heard from a lot of people that are reading this through. They said it feels like a comic book movie.
Yeah,
which James Gunn knows how to do.
Yeah, absolutely, he knows how to do. So I mean,
and also in this movie, it's officially confirmed now. Alan Tudyk plays every robot ever.
That is true. That is true. There's no one else who plays robots in movies and television. It's just Alan Tudyk.
Yeah.
If you see a robot in a movie or a television show, it's Alan Tudyk.
I love the line. Number 4 is a name. So is Gary.
Yes. All right, Gary. So just call him Gary. He makes that crack about crypto.
I do want to throw back to earlier. You guys asked about Suicide Squad 2. When James Gunn made it, he has a quote where he says this is both a sequel and serves as a soft reboot. So the second Suicide Squad was supposed to be a sequel.
Gotcha. That makes sense. That does make sense.
Yeah.
I hate Amanda Waller. She's a terrible human being. Oh, she's so bad. Anyway.
There has to be one, right?
So the other thing that I really enjoyed about Gunn's Superman film is what he didn't do. And what he didn't do and what he said he would not do from the very beginning is it's not going to be another freaking origin story.
Yeah, thank goodness.
We have had too many Superman origin stories. Let's just be done with it. So the movie starts at a point where Superman has been in Metropolis publicly now for about 3 years. His relationship with Lois Lane is already established. Everybody knows who he is. And by that, and this is one of the funniest things about the movie, is that it seems like every principal character knows that Clark Kent is also Superman.
Right. Yeah.
And my favorite line is from Guy Gardner, played so brilliantly by Nathan Fillion. I mean, I could watch a Guy Gardner, and I hope he gets one. I hope Nathan Fillion gets a Guy Gardner Green Lantern movie, because he's got that stupid bowl cut, and he's just so sarcastic and full of himself and whatever. And he's like, you know about the hypno glasses, right? Yeah, they they hypnotize you into making his face something. Everybody sees something different.
Yeah.
She goes, yeah, I know. He goes, do you know he's Clark Kent? And Lois goes,
no, he goes, oh, so you know he's Clark Kent.
Yeah.
She goes,
does he trust everybody? Yeah, that was just, I just thought that was great because that has been one of the tropes of Superman since he appeared in the comic books, is that the only difference is the glasses.
Right.
So how can that possibly fool anyone?
Right.
So I love that they just kind of jumped on that trope and made it a thing.
Yeah, and one of the characters I loved Rachel Brosnahan's Lois Lane.
Lois Lane, yeah.
I mean, come on, she's basically the straight guy, in the movie, and kind of keeps him grounded, But she is true to the Lois Lane character, and also I have to say there were moments where she reminded me of Margot Kidder.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well. Okay, so I would say that the moment for
Margot
me,
Kidder's portrayal.
Oh yeah, the moment I would say that maybe I would have made that connection was when he consents to do an interview with her as Superman, and she goes full force Lois Lane. She pulls no punches. Yep. She doesn't throw him softballs, and he gets like really uptight and defensive really quickly. And she's like, "I'm just asking questions."
Yeah,
Yeah, and it it ultimately causes more than a bit of friction between them, which I thought was was really good. I remember when you and I saw this film together, and when we walked out of the theater, one of the first things you said to me was, I have questions, but also you said, and I thought this was interesting because we've now addressed it, was you were a little worried that they may have humanized Superman too much.
Yeah.
You clearly had time to think through that and arrive at the conclusion you did, which is exactly what I did. We didn't talk about that after that. And I agree. The other thing about David Cornsweet is he just kind of looks like a regular dude in a Superman suit, right? He doesn't look particularly Henry Cavill-esque, although I don't think anyone ever could.
Yeah.
But if you saw any pre-pro shots of him in the gym, he was stacked.
Yeah.
But they didn't put any of the prosthetic musculature in the uniform.
Right.
And that was a thing Gunn said he was going to do. Because he's Superman, but he looks like a man.
Right.
Yeah. So I thought I liked the humanization of the character.
Well, this is the one thing that I completely disagree with, and this is my hill to die on for this movie. Superman is not a metahuman. They're using that term to loosely define anyone with superpowers.
Okay.
First of all,
can you dig into that for me? Because
Superman's not human. He's from a different planet.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's not someone who, like Barry Allen, got shocked by lightning and now he's the Flash, or had something happen to him. I mean, the only thing that happened to him is he was born on a different planet with a different sun, and the yellow sun gives him powers.
Right.
But he's not human. He's not a metahuman.
Yeah.
So I didn't.
Now, do they specifically refer to Superman as a metahuman or a meta?
No, metahuman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the movie, absolutely. Because not only is Lex Luthor against Superman, but he wraps it up in the campaign against metahumans.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. And let's talk about some of the other metahumans we met. Actually, now that makes even more sense because Hawkgirl.
Yeah. who is also not from this planet. Right.
But you've got the beginnings of the Justice Society, I think, except Guy Gardner wants to call it the Justice Gang.
I love it.
And everyone is against that, the Justice Gang, but he was like, it's a great name. Yeah. So you've got the...
Well, until Metamorpho came along, and he goes, I like that.
That's an awesome name. In. Yeah. But that's another character that's in as Metamorpho. But the beginnings of the Justice Gang, Guy Gardner... The incarnation of Guy Gardner is Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, and then Mr. Terrific.
Yeah, which I love. Yeah.
Man, so I think you explained, because I know a lot less about DC than I do about Marvel, and I think you explained that Mr. Terrific is DC's version of Iron Man. Isn't that what you said to me?
That wasn't me.
Okay.
That's Chris.
Oh, sorry, Chris.
Yeah.
You guys look alike.
Yeah,
you guys look alike.
Absolutely.
And I've been drunk with both of you a lot recently, so it could be. I remembered someone said that. How about that? Let's give Larry a little bit of credit.
At least you remembered.
Yeah.
There you
go. And once I got that, then I totally was able to buy into the character, and I thought actually Mr. Terrific was a little smarter because instead of building a suit of armor, which in the best of circumstances has got to be a little uncomfortable, he just has a flying chair.
Yeah.
And he's got those little things that spin around him like
orbs.
atoms.
The spheres
that can do hella damage really fast.
Yeah.
And he's a
T-spheres.
and he's a bit of a smart ass, which I kind of like.
Because he's so smart.
Yeah. So that was an interesting character as well. And their dynamic is so ridiculously funny.
Yeah. I love how he's helping Lois Lane just to piss off Guy Gardner.
Yeah.
That's his motivation.
That is his motivation. Let's talk a little bit about how this incarnation of Superman compares to past incarnations of Superman, and specifically past incarnations of Superman that you guys liked, and why. I mean, it's apples and oranges at this point. We understand that, right? Because now, again, I can't stress this enough. James Gunn is the Kevin Feige of the DCU.
Right.
He has. It's okay. Take some. No, how about some water? How about some water? You don't have any water. Jesus Christ.
You need to get you some water. Maybe water in that fridge.
That's better.
Okay. Welcome to radio. I'm going to pick that up. Here we go. I can't stress this enough. James Gunn is the new Kevin Feige for the DCU. He is attempting to do what they have not done in that world before, which is tie everything together.
Yeah.
And not do it in a way that forces you to retcon some parts of the previous movie, or just like not even bother putting that in the movie, but doing it as a post-credit scene, right? That's the other thing that you got to give Feige all the credit for, was the damn post-credit scenes in movies. I mean, we all stick around now, and you and I stuck around because we knew it was coming.
Yeah.
But how do you think this incarnation of Superman, directed by James Gunn, compares to any previous incarnation of that character that you liked?
Well, like you said, they're apples and oranges.
Uh-huh.
I mean, this version of Superman is so completely different. There's not really anything to compare him to. I would honestly say that the closest thing, the closest version of Superman would be George Reeves. Mm-hmm. From the old TV show, the old black and white TV show, because he was a little more human,
right?
And he joked around a lot, and he was a little more jovial. But every Superman since then, even in the anime and stuff, it's all been very serious and stoic. And I loved Henry Cavill's version. I thought he looked great. My actual super favorite from that era was Brandon Routh.
Really?
Yeah, when he came back, or Superman Returns was the movie, which it was weird. It felt like a Superman movie in name only at some point, right? Because there just wasn't a lot of Superman in it.
Right.
However, apparently he'd been gone for a long time. He had to go take care of something on Krypton or whatever, or he found a planet. I don't remember. He was gone for a long time. And you don't get the full story, so we don't know. So I don't know if they had planned on that being another movie where all that gets explained or not.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But
I never saw that film.
That film was actually done specifically to be able to, so that the studio could keep the license.
Yeah.
They were required to put material out.
Yeah.
It's like using up your budget by the end of the year, because otherwise you lose it.
Exactly, yeah. So, I mean, it wasn't a great movie by any means. It was a good movie. It wasn't great. But I just loved his portrayal of Superman because, again, he is close. I mean, honestly, if you closed your eyes during parts of that movie when he talked, he sounded like Christopher Reeves. Mm-hmm. And at some points, he looked like him.
Oh, yeah. Well, I remember what he looks like very specifically.
Why he got chosen. But anyway... Yeah, I would honestly say that David Cornsweet's version of Superman, or this version of Superman, to me, the next closest thing is George Reeves.
The original, yeah.
Well, he wasn't the original. There was a guy before him.
Before George Reeves?
Yeah, that did the movie. Yeah, I think, right?
I thought
you
tell me.
I thought you told us that one time.
Maybe I did.
Or was George Reeves in the movie and then they did the TV series?
There was a movie first.
Yeah, and then
it was George Reeves.
Okay, so maybe I'm thinking of something else. But I mean, you cannot compare this version of Superman with anything from Zack Snyder, Henry Cavill.
I mean, I think you can compare anything to anything.
Well, I mean, okay. I mean,
the portrayal of the character.
You would be more contrasting than anything, is what you'd be doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because they are very, very different. What about you, Hawk?
I mean, we loved the movie, but we also genuinely loved the Henry Cavill depiction. He's
so pretty.
He's very pretty.
He's very. No, but it's beyond that. Is they really took the time to explain his motivations of why he, wanted to save humanity. Yeah. And it wasn't, just my parents told me to. But this one is like you say, it's night and day. We absolutely loved it. We walked out of there. My son's the DC guy in our family, Daniel. Love you, Daniel. And he and I have always kind of gone back and forth about Marvel versus DC. I'm Marvel, he's DC. And I told him, like, that's one of the best Marvel movies I've ever seen.
That's funny.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Along the same lines. Best depiction of Lex Luthor across all the movies.
Oh, boy.
I've got mine. I know mine right away.
Oh, boy.
I still love Hack.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
In the
like
first Superman movie, anyway.
By the time we got to Quest for Peace, oh my God, talk about jumping the shark. That was a little much for me. I will say, however,
I also liked.
Go ahead.
Nope.
I led with I will say, however. But
no,
go ahead.
I know who you're going to. It's just say it.
Will Holt.
Oh, okay.
I thought he did a great job as Luthor.
Yeah.
I am not. I would never disparage. What's his name's from the Snyderverse, his portrayal of Lex Luthor. What is that dude's name? The guy from Now You See Me.
Oh, yeah.
Why can't I literally just said, okay, this is how ridiculous my brain has been lately, is that I think of something,
yeah, I can see his
face, and
face.
then immediately forget it.
I can see his face.
Maybe Dawn of Justice cast. We're going to look this up in real time. Yeah, you guys already probably know the answer, and you're just waiting for us to get there. Thank you for your patience.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg. God.
Okay, what about Kevin Spacey? You like his version?
When was Spacey Lex Luthor?
Wasn't he was Lex Luthor in Man of Steel? Man of Steel?
He was Lex Luthor in Man of Steel?
I'm pretty sure.
Man, I guess it's been a while since I've seen that movie. I don't even... Okay, this is going to sound terrible, you guys. But I don't even remember much of Man of Steel.
General Zod. Russell Crowe was Jor-El.
Yeah. I don't even remember Lex Luthor being in that movie.
Kevin Costner was Jonathan Kent.
Yeah.
I could be totally wrong, but...
was Lex Luthor even in that movie?
I don't see him in the cast, so maybe I'm thinking of a different one.
But if
Kevin Spacey was Lex Luthor in Superman Returns.
Oh, okay. That's your Brandon Ruth.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, which I didn't see. Yeah. So, yeah, I thought Will Holt did a great job in this film. He has
Beast.
He played Beast in the early X-Men movies.
No, the reboots, the First Class.
First Class, whatever. Yeah. Is it Stewart or the other guy? I can never keep them straight.
Those are so great.
So great. Excuse me. So, and I get, were there any other, well, I mean, George Reeves and whatever, but I didn't watch any of that stuff. So, Hackman's the classic one. He's the classic Lex Luthor. Yeah. And again, that first movie played more like a comic book, I thought, too.
It did, especially with Otis.
Yeah. Ned Beatty.
He was great in that role. Mr. Luthor.
I think I've told you guys the story before, but I once heard a comic do a bit on Ned Beatty. You know what I'm talking about? Do you guys remember the movie Deliverance?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So you remember the famous scene.
Yeah, like they didn't show him the script for that day?
Yeah, I just think they didn't show him the script. Or they tore those pages out of his script, and he's like, hey, fellas, I couldn't help but notice I'm missing pages 85 through 88. And the director was like, we're just going to improv that whole scene. You'll be fine. We trust you, dude. You got great chops. It's going to be great. It's going to be a great scene. Oh, my God.
Okay, so now, along the same lines, Lois Lane. Favorite Lois Lane?
For me, that's Margot Kidder.
Yeah.
And I'm dating myself here because we keep going back to Chris Reeves, but
78.
But for me, it's like when I think Lois Lane, the first image that pops into my head is Margot Kidder. Now, if I see Superman a couple more times, that may change because I think Rachel Brosnahan is actually one of the best actors out there right now.
Yeah.
We had a real hard time with like a cognitive dissonance of not seeing Miss Maisel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't, because and this is why she's such a great actor to me, is because I was worried that was going to be the case, and for me it was not at all.
Well, I'm telling you, the one I couldn't buy ever was Amy Adams.
Oh,
I just couldn't. For some reason, it just didn't work for me.
I thought she did a pretty good job.
No, it just never worked for me. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because she didn't have.
I thought
hair.
Diane Lane was a great Martha Kent.
Yeah.
But I think Diane Lane is great at everything. I love her to death, man.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think, I'm gonna, I'm obviously that movie's gonna come out probably on HBO Max, because they're Warner Brothers, and I'll get to watch the movie a few more times, and but I think it's always gonna be Margot Kidder for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do you remember the tagline of the original Chris Reeve Superman movie?
You believe a man can fly?
Yes, and I did.
Yeah.
I totally did.
Yeah.
And it did play like a comic book, unlike the Snyderverse, which was just so dark.
Well, so the Christopher Reeve movie, again, he played Superman like everyone expected it to be, right? And I think that's one of the reasons it did so great. Because first of all, the special effects were great. I mean, they still hold up kind of. I mean, now today you go, oh, that's just when he's, pushing the helicopter back up.
That's green screen or whatever.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, just a motion screen behind him,
right,
for the building, and then you can see the model. And but still, it's 1978. Come on, but the way he portrayed Superman was the stoic, always the good guy with just would do these corny jokes.
He was the Puyo, he was the typical Midwestern boy, right? Mm-hmm. He's awkward in the big city. He's got a heart of gold. And then, and that's an act that he puts on. And then he becomes Superman, and he's a little more, but he's still got that Midwestern sensibility.
Yeah.
And to anyone who would argue that in Gunn's film they made Superman too human, I would say exactly what you said, which is that, okay, oh my God.
Sorry.
Whenever a bug gets on set, Brent just loses all focus like a Jack Russell Terrier.
We have the doors open because it's hot, and that.
I am literally I'm sweating like Meatloaf on the Bat Out of Hell tour right now, and unfortunately I don't have a satin cloth to tamp myself down with. But there you go. I really liked the film, and I really liked
it was super entertaining.
What Gunn did. I really love the fact that it wasn't yet another origin story, because Alfred Hitchcock gave one of the greatest pieces of film advice, and this is actually something that Spielberg took to heart and has used in every film he's ever made. Hitchcock said, start your scene in the middle, and let and trust that your audience is intelligent enough to figure out what is happening. Do not give them unnecessary exposition at the front. Start the scene in the middle. Start with some action. Start with something that's making your audience go, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
Because it forces them to put their detective cap on and figure out what's going on in the scene.
Yeah.
And by starting the film in 3 years into The World Now Knows About Superman, I thought that it was a great move.
Yeah.
And it seriously took out one of what was undoubtedly going to be one of the big critiques, which was, we don't need another damn origin story.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't get one.
Yeah.
You got something completely different and fresh and new, and I thought it was really good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. And there was only one scene. So DC has this issue with CGI. They just can't get it right for some reason. Not like Marvel. Like Marvel, sometimes you can't even tell it's CGI.
Right.
But DC is always...
Except the horrible post-credit scene in Eternals.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was so bad.
That was like an afterthought.
Yeah.
Again, that I think I'm kind of with Chris. I think maybe Eternals was a movie they had to make to keep the license. I don't know. But anyway, there's this one scene where he's fighting all of those guard people in the air.
Yeah.
And he punches that guy and the teeth came out.
And
it's just so bad. But the kaiju actually was good CGI.
Yeah.
That was pretty decent.
Yeah.
But I don't know why, but DC has always had this issue with CGI. They just cannot get it right. And so that would be my only critique as far as special effects in that movie is that one scene.
So thinking through that, and I would have to go back and do some serious research. This is not the kind of thing we could fact check on the fly. But if you go back to Gunn's Suicide Squad film, that that CGI, like Starro and all that, it's cartoony, right?
Yeah, but on purpose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So was that the point? I would love to get Gunn in a room and ask him that question.
I don't think so. I mean,
you don't think so?
He's fighting a human. Why would they make that the human look
Because
cartoony?
it's the comic book feel. Wham, bam, that kind of thing.
So it's the scene where Lois is in Superman's apartment talking to him, and in the background over
they're fighting.
They're fighting the great big interdimensional beast.
Yeah.
And
they got that.
Yeah, but it looked like a comic book.
Yeah.
That was the creature out there looked like something straight out of a comic.
Yeah, it reminded me of like the kind of monster effects that Suicide Squad had. Yeah. So I mean, maybe they were done by the same people. It seems likely that they were, but that actually didn't bother me so much because my brain already went to, this is a moving comic book. This is kind of cool, right? Yeah. So I'm prepared to suspend my disbelief, and this is coming from a jaded asshole who's worked in this industry for 30 years.
Yeah,
is that if I'm and honestly, that is one of my most fundamental criterion for enjoying any movie. If I can suspend my disbelief, I'm good. I will enjoy the movie. It can be crap writing, crap acting, but if it still allows me to suspend my disbelief, then I'm like, okay, there's something there to like about it.
Here's my other question / critique about the movie.
Okay.
So Ultraman is a clone of Superman, right?
I did not see that coming.
Oh, yeah, no. And so Lex complains about how stupid he is.
Yeah.
Right? He's just basically a Neanderthal. I'm sorry, I'll pronounce it correctly. But
we're about to get comment section blowing up.
Right.
Actually, it's pronounced Neanderthal.
But so if he's so stupid, he literally memorized hundreds of codes for fight moves, because they would yell out A1, D23.
Well, so that and I don't know that I was paying enough attention, or if I just need to watch it again. But my response to that is, did he learn them or was he programmed with them? Because he is a clone.
Yeah.
So one could argue
that's a good point,
that all those were programmed in, so he doesn't have to think about A1. Yeah. He just executes it because it's in his DNA.
Yeah. That would be way more.
You're welcome, James Gunn.
Yeah, that would be way more.
I just saved you from the wrath of my friend Brent.
That's right, wrath.
I did that. Oh, there was some wrath in there.
Yeah,
a little bit of wrath.
Right.
Like maybe that much wrath.
How about some other cast? I've got an interesting story about some other cast. So, Wendell Pierce was in the movie, right? Played the chief, right?
The planet.
Yeah. When Pam and I went to Greece, we scheduled a dinner in our hotel, which is the tallest building in Greece, overlooks all the other buildings. They can't have buildings more than 8 stories tall because of
tectonic plates that shift,
and stuff. But she planned a dinner, and we were at the top of this hotel, and because it had a great view of the city and the Parthenon in the distance lit up at night. We show up for dinner. As we're getting taken back, the hostess says, we have some special requests tonight. We're going to ask that you don't take any pictures of the restaurant. You don't take any pictures at your table. If you'd like to take pictures on the balcony of you in the Parthenon, you can do that out here. But when you're in the restaurant, no pictures. We sit down at our table, and we are sitting this far from Wendell Pierce and the entire cast of Jack Ryan, because they were filming the 3rd season of Jack Ryan in Athens that year.
So John Krasinski was there too?
No, he was the only one who wasn't there. John Krasinski wasn't. But Wendell Pierce was sitting here, and they were drinking wine, and he was having such a good time. And Pam and I were just kind of nerding out, because we love Wendell from Jack Ryan, from The Wire, right?
He's been in so much stuff.
Yeah.
But at one point, he starts singing out loud, and I'm like, oh my God, he's also got an angelic voice on top of everything else.
Yeah.
And he starts singing, and the whole restaurant afterwards claps, and he turns and looks Pam in the eyes and winks at her.
I love that we're talking about Superman, and he did that just so he could name drop Wendell Pierce.
Yep.
That's
no, because
awesome.
that was we love everything with Wendell Pierce.
Yeah.
There you go.
That fits so well into the conversation we're
Tie it
having
in there,
man.
buddy.
Yeah, good job, buddy. Love it. You're the new Micah. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You're the new Micah.
Oh.
Yeah, thank you, Chris Pratt. Yeah, we already know how that works. Yeah. Hey, would you be producerly and hand me some more of that cigar malt and maybe put some in my glass for me? Because thank you very much. So,
Garçon.
Garçon, thank you very much. I'm feeling. Whoa, man, that is a Hockenberry pour right there. Good heavens, I'm having a sleepover tonight. I don't know, man. I think it might be time for some dad jokes. You want to do some dad jokes?
Yep.
Hit it.
It's the greatest joke in the world.
All right, it's the segment of the program we like to call the greatest joke in the world. This is the round where we are going to go 3 lightning rounds of dad jokes. And I should have thought about this today, but my brain has been swamp water for 3 weeks now. And next time we do this, Hawk, you are going to bring some jokes as well. If you're going to be on in the conversation, you're going to take part in this. And I'll
do one at the end. After you guys, I got one.
What? No, you can start. You don't get to finish this.
Okay.
When you can go 3 rounds with us, then you can finish.
Okay.
You will start. But I kind of want to bring back the punishment. I know. Maybe it's just where I am in my life right now, but I feel like there ought to be consequences for laughing.
We now have punishment whiskey.
That's true. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
We have the new Rocktown.
Oh man. Oh, by the way, in case you're tuning in at the end of the show, Chris was so sweet and generous, and he brought back from his trip to Hawaii a Hawaiian whiskey and some Hawaiian cigars. And what we discovered, and what Chris said during one of the breaks, is apparently paradise is so great that you don't need whiskey and cigars, so people make them just for fun, and they don't know what the hell they're doing because they were absolute garbage. So
So bad.
Sorry, Hawaii. You do a lot of things right. Cigars and whiskey are not 2 of those things.
Yeah.
All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go 3 rounds. Chris is actually going to start us off with one joke, which I'm sure we're not going to laugh at, and then Brent and I are going to go back and forth with some dad jokes. So Hawk, lay your dad joke on us.
It's topic relevant. What do you get when you cross Superman with a pig?
Something pork.
No.
No.
Man of Squeal.
Oh man! See, I would have said that was Ned Beatty. I would have said that was Ned Beatty. You should have told that joke when I told that bit, man. That would have been good. All right, go boy.
What do you call a fish wearing a tuxedo?
What do you call a fish wearing a tuxedo?
I'm gonna do this my Sean Connery voice. Sophisticated.
Nice. I love that you did that in a Sean Connery voice. Sophisticated.
Because that's exactly how he would say the word.
Yeah, exactly. Sophisticated. Miss Moneypenny. I like that blow show adding. All right. I once dated a twin. And people used to ask me all the time, well, how can you tell them apart? And I said, well, it's pretty easy. Jessica always paints her nails the same color, and Michael is a dude.
Okay. Oh, my gosh.
That one came out of left.
Yeah.
You weren't expecting that.
Let's see. What do I want to do first? What do you call a can opener that doesn't work?
I feel like I should know this. What is it?
A can't opener.
God, 2 more seconds. I needed 2 more seconds. That was a good one. A can't opener. That's actually what I have at my house right now.
Right.
I don't know what happened. Like, I can remember very clearly in the 70s, we had an electric can opener. Mm-hmm. And this thing could open anything.
Yeah.
You could use it to unlock a safe if you needed to. And now we've got these handheld can openers that maybe opened cans twice and then they don't work anymore.
Yeah.
Did you experience that?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay, my turn. I once dated a woman who worked at a zoo. She was a keeper. Okay, look, that's how you know it's a good dad joke, when you just shake your head and go, oh. All right, my next one's going to take you by surprise. But what do you got for number 3?
This is just a dumb one.
I love dumb ones.
So I swallowed some food coloring, and my doctor said I'm okay, but I feel like I've died a little inside.
That's good. I've died a little. Just as long as it wasn't that red number 2, because that stuff will actually kill you.
Right.
That's why they took it out of M&M's, dude.
What?
What do you call a gender-neutral person who is also lactose intolerant?
Oh, I feel like I've heard this before.
Non-binary. Come on.
No.
All right, I got a bonus joke. Do you have a bonus joke?
I do.
Let me have your bonus joke.
My boss told me to have a good day, so I went home.
Yep. That's a good one. I recently purchased what has to be the world's worst thesaurus. It's not only is it terrible, it is just simply terrible. Okay. And that's going to do it for this week's edition of...
It's the greatest joke in the world.
See, okay, look. This is precisely why I want to bring back the punishment.
I don't know, man. We had punishment at the beginning of the show. We had bad cigars, bad whiskey, and
Look,
now bad jokes.
That wasn't punishment. That was, we didn't know what we didn't know. And look, we are trashing Kauai cigars and crap tea or whatever it was called, whiskey, crap-a-high. But we're not trashing Chris because, as we say, you cannot hit a home run. You can't hit a home run if you don't step up to bat. So he bought those sight unseen because they were from a beautiful place, and maybe they'll be beautiful. And they could have been, except for the whole part where they definitely were not. So no stars, would not recommend.
That's right.
Absolutely not.
Right, I'm 1 star.
We have been talking tonight about James Gunn's new Superman film. If you have some comments on it, we'd love to hear from you. Hit us up at nerdherfers.com, or if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, hit us up in the comments section. Let us know what you think, because we are interested in other people's opinions, despite what we say on this program. And I have no idea what the show next week is going to be about, because quite frankly, we haven't talked about it. We've been gone for a while. We are back now. It's really great to be back, sweating our asses off here at Hoopty Studios. I am going to have to change my shorts at the end of this show because, like, I couldn't stand up now if I...
You can go jump in the pool.
Yeah, I'll go jump in the pool.
Yeah.
That'll make your wife really happy. Why is Larry naked in the pool? That's not okay.
I think anybody...
My grandson is here.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've had a great time. Thank you guys so much. I am Larry Brantley. That is Brent Williams.
Well, I'd say keep your shirt on, but it's too dang hot. So
I actually... Okay.
Take your shirt off.
I argued for taking shirts off tonight.
Yeah.
And I got voted down.
We should totally do like a Shirts and Skins episode.
A Shirts and Skins? Well, I don't want to be shirts if we're doing it here, dude. I want to be skins. All the skins. And our producer, Chris Hockenberry. Thank you, Chris, as always.
Mahalo.
And mahalo, bro. And mahalo, bro. And we will see you guys next week. Until then, look up in the sky because, well, you know, just go see the movie. It's great. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
This has been a production of Nerdherfers. Copyright 2025, all rights reserved. No portion of this broadcast may be used without permission. Please visit nerdherfers.com for more information and full legal disclaimer. You